Today is gonna be fun. Have you imagined this? Namibia has 13 main languages, and each citizen here speaks like 4 or 3 languages. We have languages like the Afrikaans, we have the Bemba, we have the Khoikhoi, we have the Damara Nama, all right, and English. So we are here to learn, we are here to exchange, we are here to do a special feature for one of African young leaders who is doing good in Namibia, but more so in the Katuturu village, Windhoek. All right. Hello, Lavishat family. It's your boy Hamad Tenguri, the chair, Lavishat Youth Initiative Agenda, but also the founder and the CEO, Lavishat Company and Lavishat Media, based in Mombasa, Kenya. Lavishat Media, we are in Namibia. Namibia is a country in Western Africa. Kenya is a country in Eastern Africa. But we have South Africa down in the Southern Africa, and up in the north we have the countries like Egypt and Tunisia. So for us, we are in Namibia. Namibia is West Africa. Our purpose in Namibia is to do a feature story for one of the young Africans, young Namibians, by the name Shaun, who is doing so well in amplifying the girl child agenda, but also the boy child agenda through or under the umbrella of end period poverty. So he'll share his story with us, challenges, collaborations that he's had, and partnerships going forward 5 years from today. Where does he see us himself? And I'm sure through this you'll be able to learn various things. Welcome, brother, and please tell us your name once again, because yes, you are Shaun, but who is Shaun? Talk to us.
My name is Shaun Garisek. I'm the founder of End Period Poverty, an initiative based in Windhoek, Namibia. I'm a young man from Katuturu. It's a neighborhood in Windhoek. Basically, what I do, or what I think I'm trying to do to contribute towards building the nation is, firstly, I'm a writer. I'm deliberate about being a writer because I looked at it as being an influencer. But in being deliberate, I mean, I do not want to be an influencer by way of wearing designer clothes, being on Instagram, and influencing through trends. I write to influence policy change and contribute towards national discourse. So I think my contribution towards nation building is along those lines. I'm an activist, and as an activist, I contribute to, or so to speak, I'm not a fault finder. I would like to think I give solutions where I think is necessary, and I think I've been successful so far in my time, especially in the past years. So in short, I write, and also partly businessman, and I'm an activist. Becoming an activist in what we do was more, like I said, we are from Katuturu. It's a neighborhood. It's not your most affluent neighborhood. Like in many African communities, there are those communities who represent the struggle of those towns or those cities. In Windhoek, Katuturu is such a neighborhood or suburb, so to speak. Katuturu is a historical place. So I'm from that neighborhood, and in Katuturu there are also different neighborhoods and communities being from where we are from, we realized that there was a need to have something that caters for the lack of sanitary care towards young people, young girls in our communities. So when we looked at the lack of it, we thought, let's inspire, let's create hope, but let's do this through doing something that will have effect. So we deliberate about reaching. I was deliberate about reaching out to people that were in my immediate community. For example, I first thought of using people that were influential, people that if we spoke of this thing, if we spoke of sanitary care, people that people will listen to. So I reached out to people like Jalisa, who's a musician. She's a well-known songstress in Namibia. I reached out to Tamara Dekten, a friend of mine. He's also a very renowned and legendary producer as well as a musician. So the idea behind reaching out to those kinds of people with the rest of the people that are now part of the group was that so that we are not just a group that will collect pets and go and hand out pets and go home. We wanted to be a group that also educate and have a lasting effect on young people. Being a guy and starting the initiative as a guy, working with Tamara was just necessary, because if us as guys speak to young boys, we do educate them, we do deliberately tell them not to make fun of girls, and we kind of are intentional about planting a seed about sanitary care in schools to these young boys. So that was one of the reasons. That was the reason that we thought, let's start this initiative. Let's have something that we don't only do for clout. Let's do something that will be effective, because there is a serious need. It's something that we are aware that we did not have when we were growing up and being from the kinds of communities and schools that we come from. And it has worked thus far. We started in 2022 in the beginning, just right after the effect of COVID. So we just thought, let's mobilize each other, our energies. Let's reach out to people who we know, our friends, our colleagues, and let's just gather sanitary products and let's go to these indigent communities, to schools, and let's give these people who need, and let's speak to them. Let's inspire hope in them. So that is what we did, and it has been working thus far. The gap between members of the community and government organizations, I can only speak for our dispensation, because I know there are efforts from government in our country, but we just feel they are not enough, in a sense that, we're in 2024 and there's still so many efforts from private individuals, and the ultimate call from us is that sanitary products should be free to girls, the same as condoms are provided free by government. VAT provisions were effected recently in our country, and I'm also aware in other countries like Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, Zambia, and South Africa in 2019 also took similar steps. But as to which products is this VAT free is also an issue here in Namibia. It applies to certain products and not certain, and some products the VAT provision is not there. But with regards to other countries, for example, our initiative has recently been invited to some countries in Southern Africa, where we are just going to have an exchange kind of thing in December, where we will just see what they're doing in Mozambique and Swaziland and in South Africa, and then we can bring that back to what we are doing here. Because we must mind you, we also sue reusable sanitary pads. In the beginning of last year, we went through a training with Children's Movement, who's also a similar movement under the tutelage of Mr. Kenya and Abrahams, who's been doing wonderful work in this regard. We were taught how to sue sanitary products, so we have what we call a suing together initiative, where we want to have We want to take young people off the streets where we can sew together, can sew sanitary, reusable sanitary pads as well as other sewable products, and then they can sell or they can use that as a source of creating employment. So we are looking at those kinds of things, and we are looking to also hold hands with government. We're not saying, we are aware that there are a lot of other efforts that is very necessary, especially when we want to fight poverty. We need as many efforts as possible, but from government can only do as much. So with government, in our dispensation, as I said, there's not your immediate, there's no tangible, you don't see tangible things they do, but there is different efforts. You see, the reason why there are so many organizations is actually a good thing. It's actually a good thing that there are so many organizations. It's just that it's unfortunate that in some instances we are not unable to see as to whether some efforts are genuine or not. However, those people who come into that kind of space for ulterior motives, it's unfortunate that it is like that. And it is when people have ulterior motives that they do not understand when we say we want to work together. Since we started working, I remember we have worked with different organizations that are doing similar things, and when we had these talks, we were always placing emphasis on holding hands and how important it is. I mean, our message, when we go out like this, our message is such that we also try to, like I said, we try to explain the seed. We also play dramas. Because we have artistic people also, so we also play dramas. Now you will see that some people, like for example, there's an organization that we are now currently working with. Those people have a booklet. That booklet is TJF Investment CC. So Mr. Tayad has a booklet. He's been also in this space for a very long time. We held hands with him. So these are the kinds of booklets he gives. We go to schools, we hand out these booklets. This booklet is very informative. Everything you need to know about sanitary products is here. How a girl should behave in the when she gets the first menstrual period, different kinds of sanitary products, how to manage your period, what happens to your body, what is a taboo, these kinds of things. So when we collaborate, you see, when the other one comes with this kind of information, we come with this. We can come with different kinds of information. So I think collaboration is of utmost importance, because the lack of sanitary products is not unique to one area. It's not unique to Namibia, for example. It's not unique to Kenya, or it's not unique to Zimbabwe. We need these efforts even on the continent. We need to hold each other's hands to be able to say, guys, how are you addressing in some dispensations? The need is more in some areas, rural, like we see even here in Namibia. Rural areas differ from urban areas. How do we address this? We can only do this by holding hands and working together. Cooperation and partnership is very, very much important, and it must be encouraged. It will only work if we understand why we are in this space of helping those who need us more, those of us who are able to. Because at the end of the day, we are only mobilizing energies and efforts to help those that are in need. Life is life. We have regrets. I mean, what can I say? There are certain things in your younger days you wish you could have done differently. Not something extraordinary that I maybe regret, so to speak, but I've tried to live the best that I could. But I've made mistakes here and there. I'm a human. But yeah, life is life. To me, we are going on. We move on. I think after all, it's just about finding your purpose and doing what you are here to do. So I think with these kinds of initiatives, because it's not the only kind of thing I do, I've always been part of what is in the interest of the collective. So I think I'm serving my purpose, and I'm happy for that. I want to see change. I want to see our initiative grow. I want to see collaborations with other efforts from around the continent. I want to see a better Africa, and I want to see peace in Africa. You know, there's this mis situation in Africa where in every 5 years or so we have our peace is compromised because of leadership discontent, so to speak. I would like to see the end of that. Personally, I would like to see business grow. And in other aspirations that I have, in the next 5 years, I hope I'm where I want to be. My advice to Africans, especially young Africans, is that there's one thing that we must always remember and know, is that as Africans, we must tell our story. We must not wait for our story to be told by other people that are not from Africa. We must own our continent, and we must work towards taking our continent to the next level. I always remind people about what's happening in West Africa, in East Africa, where people have realized that they should decolonize. Decolonizing by that I mean they are owning up to their languages, their cultures, and their traditions that make them African. Let's own up to those things. Let's tell our own stories. Let's create our own content, and let's be Africa, and let's take our continent further. Thanks to Lavish Head TV for having us. I hope I represented any period poverty foundation the way I'm supposed to. Our social media pages, you can mostly find us on Facebook. It's N period Poverty Foundation, just directly like that. You can search that Namibia, then you maybe throw out. That's the same for Instagram. You can also follow me, maybe Shaun Garisep, also on Facebook, Twitter, now X, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Shaun Garisep, that is. So for sponsorship or partnership or anyone who wants to reach out, those are the platforms on which we can maybe liaise and see how we can take these kinds of efforts forward. I thank you very much.
The purpose of Lavish platforms, we are here to mentor you communally, piously, and in point of fact. If this is the first time you're watching us, remember to subscribe, to like, and share. But also remember, you can sponsor, you can donate in kind, so that us as Lavish TV, we can be able to do various feature, because we need to travel, we need to accommodate ourselves in various areas that we go. So you can go to our super chats on YouTube, and from there are categories on how you can gift us. If that is a long process for you, then feel free to send your contributions to the following details in your screens. By doing so, this is one way of supporting whatever good things that young people are doing in Africa and across the continent.
Lavish Heart TV ndo TV yako ya online kwa uhondo wa burudani na matukio ya kimuziki. Believe you guys are going to kwa sababu nimeona mna experience na masuala mnayouliza, yani everything is perfect. Lavish Heart TV ndo TV yako ya online kwa uhondo wa burudani na matukio ya kimuziki.
Yo, this is King Kaka and you're watching Lavish Heart TV. Keep it locked.
Hey yo, what up, it's your boy Calligraph Jones, rapping the 254, straight out of the 1960. Right about now, you checking me out in the flesh, and you know who I'm rocking with, Lavish Hat TV, and this is the CEO right here, as you can see. So respect the OGs, respect Lavish Hat TV, respect